Spider-Man, made in 2002, directed by Sam Raimi, who you might know from The Evil Dead, as well as Xena Warrior Princess, of course.
And also Great and Powerful.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget that.
Can't forget that one. So, I feel like I've got like quite a long history of this film, because this came out like kind of at the height of like Spider-Man hype when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the animated series, then you had the video games, and then like this came out, it's like the cap on everything. I feel like one of the interesting thing I remember about this is part of the rating thing. That I was almost afraid I wouldn't be able to see this because I wasn't going to turn 12 until October of that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is around the time when 12A came out, so now you could go with your parents.
I think it was the first film actually to become a 12A. I might be wrong there, but
I'm pretty sure it was.
I remember
because
I was really devastated as well that I wouldn't be able to see it because I was nowhere near 12 and I did not look 12 as well. But I never seen an advert saying, why don't this weekend you take mom and dad to see Spider-Man? Thinking,
you can't because you're too young.
that was like a hint of them saying, you can go as long as you're with an adult.
It kind of feels like 12A should have been essentially PG at that point. Because that's what it is, it's parental guidance.
Yeah, it is pretty much parental guidance, so what's the difference now between PG and parental guidance? What's the difference between PG and 12A is?
Yeah, just cut out 12, just replace it with PG.
But I think, like, in the first Spider-Man, if you watch it, like, the scene that really stuck out for me, where I thought this is the reason why it's 12, is the fight in the end between Green Goblin and Spider-Man, because there's a lot of, fist fight in there, and it gets quite heavy.
Yeah, it gets kind of bloodied up.
I thought, this is why it's. But I think also with 12s you can swear a bit, but PGs you might say the odd word, one word, but that's about it really.
Yeah.
I think so. 12. One of the main reasons is because there's more violence and more violent language.
Yeah,
I'd say so.
Fortunately, kids can see this violent film, and I kind of feel like this is a very important film as far as superhero films go, because this is kind of like set the standard that a lot of films would follow after it. It was like X-Men came out before this, but that was a lot of dark colours and it was more focused on like the team aspect. Whereas it kind of feels like Iron Man, Captain America and Thor in some way took inspiration from this in terms of its tone and how it approached like the superhero itself. Because before this, we were expecting like Batman and Robin and Steel and Spawn and stuff like that. Occasionally you get stuff like a Blade, but they were like very few and far in between when this film came out. And this kind of like kicked off that big superhero golden age, more or less.
It's interesting what you said then about X-Men, because looking back now, the first X-Men, it's like Fox were embarrassed to touch upon the comic book side of it, like the leather suits. Because they had leather suits in it, and it was But in this one, actually said no, we're going to actually give Spider-Man the correct costume, and I think the first superhero film in ages where you actually were watching a comic book movie, not something like based on a comic book or inspired by a comic book. No, an actual comic book movie. And also because if you think of the first X-Men, you got Ian McKellen playing Magneto, wonderfully by the way. But he does a very straight, with a little bit, a bit of humour there. But Willem Dafoe, he's playing a comic book
This
villain.
is the perfect character. This is like Superman, Spider-Man's. I went through like several different superheroes before I got to the right one. Spider-Man's version of the Joker he's insane. That's the only way to play this character.
No one says no to me. I'm just sorry, I was thinking that like a load of old things that Green Goblin said. I mean, looking back, I think this is not a perfect movie. I mean, I think it's really good, very good movie, but it does have some problems. I mean, you could argue that the design of the Green Goblin suit is a bit silly. You can say that Willem Dafoe's performance is very pantomime-y, very Power Rangers villain type, but at the same time though, that's where some of the enjoyment comes from.
Yeah. There was I did see designs somewhere. I probably should have researched it a bit more. But at one time, for either this or Spider-Man 3, there was going to be an animatronic Goblin mask.
Okay.
And it looked a lot more like it did from the comics. I would have it would have looked silly on screen, but then again, it's a very silly character, and he looked silly as he is.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I know we make fun of Will Dafoe's performance here, but he's still really good in this film. Because think about it, when you first meet Norman Osborn, he's a man who he has got problems. His company's not doing well, but he does try to be like the typical man where he's trying to hide it and try and be as positive as he can. But throughout the whole film, it starts to affect him more and more until he just completely loses it. And I mean, when he's playing those scenes, one scene I really like with Willem Dafoe in this film is when he just sees Harry, who's heartbroken by the fact that MJ's left him, and he says, I'm sorry I've never been there for you, and I want to make it up to you. That seems like a man who, I don't know, even though he's evil, he realises he's done wrong for his son.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I really like the comic books, the relationship between Harry and Norman. Because Harry felt like he never had a dad, and Norman was always busy, but Norman felt a bit guilty inside, and it was good to see some of that on there.
I kind of feel like in another life, he could have been the star of a very quirky family comedy where he got turned into a snowman and reconnected through his son.
And
then together they could destroy his arch nemesis, Spider-Man.
What? So you mentioned Harry creates something sculpts his own goblin. Then the next day it comes out, Harry, it's me.
You played the magic harmonica, Harry. Now we can take over New York.
Now join me. No, I'm not going to join you, but
no one says no to me. So we've got a great villain.
Yes.
But a great villain is nothing without a great hero. Enter Spider-Man himself.
Yeah,
played by Tobey Maguire.
I know we have different views on this, but still I think Tobey Maguire is the Spider-Man. I think he gets the balance perfect between Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I mean, when you see him play Peter Parker, you see the Peter Parker, I personally see the Peter Parker that I saw in the comics. The one who's a loner. He's a nice, intelligent lad, but he is picked on because he is very smart and he's seen as a nerd. He's a bit clumsy as well. He's awkward around Mary Jane. And with Spider-Man, I know Spider-Man comics did have some, quips and all that. And he does do some of that, a bit where when he says to Jane Jones, hey kid, let mom and dad talk for a while, those kind of things. But he didn't overdo it as well. I think he's better as a Peter Parker, but personally, I liked seeing that. But also, when he's Spider-Man first, he's not fully confident yet. But but I think also still when he becomes a superhero, it gives a bit more confidence boost, and you see it when he's playing Peter Parker. So I think he's perfect as both Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
I thought he was fantastic. He definitely, like Chris said, he captured the very early Peter Parker from the comics in that nerd style, both in how he looked and how he acted.
Yes.
You kind of see a bit of that confidence, but I feel like some stuff was lost. There's he got 2 wisecracks in that entire film. One in the fight against Bonesaw and the one was said with Jonah. One of the things about Spider-Man is that 2 things that I felt like this Spider-Man didn't get right. Number 1, Spider-Man is the wisecracking, wall-crawling, web-slinging. It's those 3 things. He pretty much never shuts up. Secondly, it kind of felt like the scientific side was underplayed. He was portrayed as dorky, but not necessarily geeky, if you get me. And I think one of the problems is that he didn't invent the web shooters himself. That was part of the point of Spider-Man, was that he was so smart, and that's how he dealt with a lot of his early threats, was with his intelligence.
Yeah, I didn't like the transition, how he didn't. You saw him draw in a suit. We don't see him design it. It's just next minute he's got it. But you say then he's not geeky. But think about when they went to Oscorp. Yeah, it's Oscorp they go to at the beginning. No, not Oscorp. Sorry, they go to that.
He knew a spider fact.
I know, but the way he was talking about it, he just talk on a comment being how's that going, Peter? Who would want to know that? And
who wouldn't?
Yeah. But the way he goes, who wouldn't? He's saying, I'm really fascinated by this. What you talk about, Harry? I mean, I think you gotta be careful with this kind of things, because you don't want to overplay saying this guy's a nerd. Look, all these facts he knows. I thought that was just enough for me. Yeah, we know he's smart. There we go. Move on now. We know his character. Let's move on with the story.
I kind of feel like this was handled a lot better in the sequels, First of all is like his conversations with Octavius.
Yes.
Where like he's just like looking and analysing his fusion reactor, and he's just like, go on. And you see that there. And in Spider-Man 3, there's more of him using his intelligence to defeat his enemies. In this one, a bit less so much, but I do like that these films kind of set down like the force of will that is Spider-Man. That like this person who's like, there's one thing you gotta learn about Spider-Man is that life hates him. And that's kind of part of the point of the character, is that he's able to push himself despite those limitations. And we do see a bit of that in the finale, where you like that big rage boost at the end to defeat the Goblin.
Yeah, I just love that bit at the end. You know, where he actually really goes for the Goblin, but also when he says at the end, when he says, "Please be a father," let me be your father.
Don't tell Harry.
Yeah, but also he goes, "I had a father. His name was Ben Parker." But that was like a real fist in the air moment, and you always said at the end as well. You said life hates him. That one bit one bit I remember as well. One scene that still sticks with me today is at the end at the funeral where he rejects Mary Jane. Because if it was a typical superhero film, he'd get the girl in the end and that's it, good scene. But the fact he says to her, "No, I can't. I'll always be your friend," and that's him. Because we knew it was him saying, because he says that epilogue, those who he loves will be the ones that will always be in danger.
And as we know, by not dating Mary Jane, she would never be taken hostage ever again.
I know. We didn't learn that, did he?
But you didn't know that at the time.
No, exactly. But I still thought that is, because he says, "Well, this is my curse." I mean, it was like, it was good to see. So that was very unusual back then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
To see an end like that. Like Superman, for example. He has Lois at the end, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I know Batman he chooses not to.
Well, Batman gets with Vicky Vale at the end. It's just that she leaves by the next film.
Yeah. So I really like that as well.
Also, great villain. Great supporting cast as well. Mary Jane is kind of lame in this. Harry is alright. He will get a lot better later on, but you can see the beginnings of where his character would go. And I like that they started that very early. They didn't feel like the need to rush into making him the next Goblin. It's a very gradual transition across 3 films. And this is very much the first act of that story where he's Peter's friends, but you can kind of see a bit of strain there.
Yeah, well, I think Harry's a really interesting character, not just in the comic books, but also in this trilogy. Not in the Amazing Spider-Man one. He's only in one, isn't he? That one. But yeah. But in this one, because each film you see a different side of him emerge. And this one, there's a hint of jealousy because he knows that his dad would secretly like to have Peter as a son. He's a bit, upset at the fact that his dad's never there for him. But also, you can tell he feels a bit guilty of the fact that he's taken Mary Jane off Peter, even though his best friends, he knows his best friends loved her for ages. And because in the second one, like you said, because he's getting over his father's death, and he's taking out his rage on other people, and the fact that Peter supports Spider-Man, he isn't like that. So that's kind of like breaking their friendship, isn't it? But this one, it's just you get to know the character, but also you're having a bit of sympathy for him. Because even though he took Peter's girlfriend, he took Mary Jane from her.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, "Oh God, what a horrible friend." But at the same time, you think, this guy's lonely.
Yeah. At the same time, they both had a crush on her.
Yeah.
It's just that Harry acted and Peter didn't.
He said that to it, yeah.
Should he feel guilty about that? It's very difficult. It's not a very black and white question, but it's something that kind of contributes to where their relationship would go.
Absolutely, yeah.
Aside from Harry and Mary Jane, you also have I don't feel like these cast choices could really be beaten or replicated.
I know what you're talking about.
Uncle Ben just perfect. Cliff Robinson just nails it as just getting this character right. Rosemary Harris as Aunt May. I don't feel like we've had several other Aunt Mays. No one has come close to getting what Aunt May should be as much as Rosemary.
Because I remember when I sat in the cinema with my dad, my dad, turned to me and said, she looks exactly how she looks in the comics. And I mean, my dad doesn't read the comics, but my dad's brother loves them.
Yeah.
That's how my dad knew. But when you think, because back then I hadn't read, I was more into Daredevil back then. But when you think like someone actually found someone that looks like her, but also with Aunt May, because she feels like the more motherly figure out of all of them Aunt May's we've seen so far in the Spider-Man films. And she's caring, she listens to Peter, but she's not like, I know in the Ultimate series she's more, I wouldn't say aggressive, but have you ever read the Ultimate Spider-Man series?
I read a bit. I think I read up to his first conversation with Electro, and that was years ago. I need to get around to reading those.
I remember seeing a few issues where she was quite stern with him, but this one's a bit more sympathetic, and I like that side of Aunt May. She was great.
Yeah. It's definitely connected to the main universe.
Like you said, the one called Ben as well. That scene where he gives that epic speech about great power comes great responsibility. The way he talks about it, you actually feel like it's a dad sitting down with his son and saying to him, come on, this is you're now going to be turning into the man that you're going to be for the rest of your life, and that's a heartbreaking scene, because Peter's going through a difficult time moments. He's trying to he's trying to keep a secret from him, and the way he whips out at him, and that's the last thing he's going to say to him before he dies. They hit that scene right. He's got it perfect.
It is kind of weird that some details of that scene were made for that film, but now they feel so iconic.
Yes.
He never actually says, with great power comes great responsibility in the comic. It's said by Spider-Man in the last panel. Also, them having that falling out was made for this, but now everybody associates that because it was a great change, but it still felt natural to the comics and the universe they're trying to create. And final big supporting character, J. Jonah Jameson.
J.K. Simmons.
He is Jonah.
Yeah.
He's just perfect.
I always say, Spider-Man Homecoming coming out, so I'm thinking all the time, Marvel, please, can we just have that one scene?
We don't care, just put him back in.
Just, even if it's a 2-second shot of him with his cigar, going, Spider-Man, he's a menace, he's a criminal. We'll be fine.
Apparently, the reason he wasn't cast in Amazing Spider-Man 2 was because they couldn't find anybody to do it as good as J.K.
No.
Nobody's going to be able to do it better.
No, but J.K. said he would be interested to come back, and I think Marvel, will think, we think the fans would like this.
We know the fans would like this.
Because I mean, when I read any Spider-Man comic now and I see J.J. Thompson, I always hear J.K. Simmons' voice. I mean, I used to watch a TV show and I always imagined it like that, but now I'm thinking, no, it's J.K. Simmons. Do you know even that J.K. Simmons plays J. Jonah Jameson in one of the Spider-Man animated TV series?
I did not realise that.
I don't know which one it is, but yeah, he does. That shows how much he loves playing that role, but it is such a great energetic role. But the thing is though, I don't think he's as good in this one as he is in the sequel. When in Spider-Man 2, he is a star of that film.
His scenes are easily the best part of the films.
Yeah,
pretty much all of them.
I mean, he is like the comic relief side of it, isn't it? When you first meet him, how he's very fast talking, and he's that typical newspaper.
He's got the giant cigar. He looks like he's pulled straight from the comic.
Yeah, it is fantastic. It's and he has well written lines as well. I mean, you could easily have just given him a really rubbish script, and he might not have done as good a job. But the lines he has, I just love that scene where Peter's taking photos, some impressive photos of Spider-Man, and Peter's looking for the approval, and then Deej goes, "They're crap, mega crap.
Give me $100 for all of them."
Yeah, that's exactly.
300. That's outrageous. Done. Just his delivery is perfect.
But the thing is also you can tell that he admires what Peter does, and he appreciates what Peter does, but he won't admit it, because there's that one scene where Green Goblin, attacks the Bugle, and he asks, "Who's the person who gives you pictures of Spider-Man?" And he actually says, "I don't know who he is." The fact that he didn't, because in that scene thing, he could easily gone, "It's him over there." But the fact that because it shows that he actually has some, he's got cares for Peter, but
he's got a benefit against Spider-Man, but he's not like a total monster.
No, he isn't. Yeah,
There's also a couple of brief cameos in there as well. We've got Ted Raimi, because it's a Sam Raimi film. He's working as Jonah's henchman, basically.
And you're missing out someone else?
We also got Robbie and Betty Brant, who pretty much did their roles well. And of course, Bruce Campbell.
Yes. Bruce Campbell was in every 3 Spider-Man films. It is great.
Bruce Campbell worked with Sam Raimi in the Evil Dead series, and he pretty much seems to crop up in most things that he does these days. Mm-hmm. And this one, he's the ring announcer, where Spider-Man fights Macho Man Randy Savage.
And it's great. I just love the fact that he goes, "What's your name?" The human's man. Oh man, that sucks. Yeah. Something else. One thing I'll talk about: the CGI. Looking back at it now, some of it I know it's 2002. It's just understandable. Some of it, back then I was like, wow. But even after couple years, so you can start to tell, this is not real. Like there's one bit I noticed most. When he's after Uncle Ben's killer, but when he jumps on the walls, that I remember thinking that is really CGI there. But
I think a part of that was because he was in his wrestler outfit, whereas when he's in the actual Spider-Man suit, the suit itself looked almost computer generated a lot of the time, so that helped with the CG a lot.
Yeah, it did.
It doesn't. You can kind of tell when it goes into CG territory, but at the same time, they still did try to do quite a few practical stunts as well. Interestingly enough, apparently Willem Dafoe insists on doing most of his own stunts. I think 90% of those stunts were his, was the official statement.
And
the action.
Did he ask if he could do his own stunts? And I said no. He went, "No one says no to me." I'm trying to think as many times I could say this. I'm just hoping that Willem Dafoe was a method actor back then, and he would stay in character. I would happily watch behind the scenes of that.
Everyone else had to avoid his trailer as he was arguing with his reflection.
Imagine just walking. Willem, we need you on set, and he's on his knees, talking to a mask.
That seemed very Evil Dead, the whole talking to the mask and the reflection.
Yeah, a lot of
I'm good, Norman. You're good, Norman. And I'm bad, Norman.
Yeah, there
good,
is a lot.
Bad, I know the glider.
I think all three of them actually do have a lot of Evil Dead references. One we'll definitely talk about for Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. The action kind of lacking in this one. I feel like the best scene was the one in the flaming building where it's got the Razorbats flying around as well. The rest of them just kind of felt a little bit lame. It definitely, at times it did kind of feel like a Spider-Man stunt show rather than a Spider-Man movie. Definitely improved with time. I feel like a lot of that might have been due to the technology at the time.
Yeah, I think it was very, especially
that flaming building. That had a gimmick to it, had atmosphere to it, and it had great choreography. It's just a great scene. Unfortunately, the rest of the action scenes are just kind of lacking.
Personally, my favourite one is the fight between the Green Goblin and Spider-Man at the end. The actual fist fighting.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of emotion behind there, and the fact there's no music, just it's it's a bit like a Power Rangers thing.
It's kind of visceral to it.
Yeah. I would argue that's the best one. We'll talk about action. I want to talk briefly about Mary Jane.
Talk about Mary Jane.
Yeah, I don't like Mary Jane, these movies.
She's kind of lame.
She's the damsel in distress. I mean, first film, it's, you can get away with it. But as we talk on later on the other ones, it gets a bit samey. But, I think she's very unfair to Harry. But that's an argument, difficult argument.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's like me. I do like the earlier scenes. When she's talking to Pete, Pete when they're both living next door to each other.
Yeah.
When they have a little conversation outside, I like that scene now. We're just talking about it and we're talking about stuff about what they're gonna do after school. But when there's scenes between those two, I think it's really strong because you can tell how much Peter loves her, how there's a bit of chemistry there, how much she's actually a really caring person.
And she kind of lame, but I don't feel like Kirsten Dunst did a bad job with the character. It just felt like she didn't have that much to work with.
No, she didn't, but she did, like I said, she did the best she possibly can. Anything else to talk about? Or?
I think that's pretty much it. So, final rundown. I love the hero, the villain, and the supporting cast. I feel like if it had maybe better writing, or the story had a bit more flow to it, because it's kind of broken into two halves. And the second half is just mainly dealing with, like, filler, like, plot of the week, threats and the goblin. If it had those, it could have been a lot stronger. So it's an 8 out of 10 for me. But with that said, I would like to point out that Spider-Man is the film that I have seen the most in the second most in the cinema.
Wow.
Total of 4 times. I distinctly remember annoying my friends the 4th time. As I was like, do we have to see this film? I was like, come on, just go see it one more time. There's nothing else on
There's nothing like
There's nothing
it at
else
the
on
time, yeah. Okay, for me, yeah, I like the performances. I like the casting. I like the hero and the villain also. I like the character arc for both the hero and the villain. I think that was beautifully done. I would say, yeah, the script could have been polished a bit. The CGI is a bit dated now, but they can't do anything about that unless they get George Lucas help.
I'm kind of looking forward to the George Lucas special edition.
Which version? And that's what I would say, just the script and the effects. So yeah, for me, it's a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. You check out the link in the description below. You can check out this film. You can buy it from Amazon. It's not on Netflix at the moment. I checked, unfortunately.
You get it quite cheap on the internet.
You can get like
you
can probably get it in a box set in like your local supermarket. Definitely check it out. Take care now, bye bye then.
Like him as Spider-Man, how he shows he keeps farting.
Oh, just draw attention to it. He's going to be cut out. Except for now, this is going to be the stinger to the video.